Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5 and we're in preview mode this week because we are talking about all the divisions and previewing each division and all the teams. So this one happens to be Mike's favorite, the NFC West. A lot to say on this one, but before we do anything, I should say, make sure you like and subscribe our videos and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You can also reach out to us, enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com.
Wait a minute. Why does San Fran have to be? Why does the NFC West have to be the last one? Why? It should have been the NFC East. Come on. Who did this, Mike? Did you do this? Did you do this on purpose, man?
Oh, what put y'all first?
Come on, man. Come on.
Man.
You say the best for last. You say the best for last.
All right, Mike, kick it off.
All right. Yeah, so let's start this off with the San Francisco 49ers, my team. And let's go. Here we go again, right? Lots of potential, high expectations. You know, they're rated the number 1 team in the NFC division altogether. Look, last 3, at 4 out of the last 5 years, they've been to championship game twice. They've been to Super Bowl twice. Are they going to get it done or not?
Nope. They are not going to get it done. And here's why. McCaffrey is not going to last the whole year. That guy cannot keep going the way he's been going and being utilized. He's going to fall apart. Ayuk and Purdy, their contracts are going to be a distraction, along with Debo, who's already a distraction. I think they're going to miss Greenlaw in the beginning of the year a lot. The question is, how much is he going to come back? I know Big Dom's going to miss him, but that's beside the point. But we got a lot going on with San Fran. And, I mean, I don't care what you say for Purdy. He is a system quarterback, and I do think that if he loses some of those receivers or if they decide to go somewhere, it's going to be interesting to see how he responds. He does a lot of curl routes coming back. I think the teams are going to really start to pick up on that a little bit more and see if they can stop it. Look, they're extremely talented. I'm not saying they're not going to go back to the championship game again. I just don't know if they have enough to get over the hump yet, Dre.
Yeah, I have to agree, man. I mean, Mike, as a San Francisco fan, you got to be disappointed. I mean, another year possibly that this can happen. You might be, where you get up to there and what happens? Nothing. So, with like the contract problems and also, I'm just going back to that playoff game, man. You guys know you should have lost. So, I mean, you guys should have lost it. Twice. Okay, twice. Are you becoming the Buffalo Bills? Not yet, but you're definitely on the road. You're definitely on the road. So I don't know, man. Yeah, you will win I see you win the NFC West. But going past there, it might be the same old team. And is it Shanahan? I mean, is it him? You gotta question that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta question that. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, the hot seat. I mean, I know we're going to make our predictions as far as who's going to be the hot seat. You got to put Shanahan on top. You got to put him one of the ones that if he can't get it done this year, I mean, you got to go somewhere. You got to go somewhere else, and then McCaffrey with the miles and all that stuff. They did say that they're going to cut back on McCaffrey as far as running the ball and all that stuff, and not over running him and all that stuff. And then, like I said, the turmoil. I mean, you forgetting about what's going on with Trent Williams. Trent Williams wants to hold out. That's another turmoil thing. But Mike called it. Mike called it last year. Mike's like, look, if we don't win it, this is why you got to win the Super Bowl. You got to win, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? Because when he said that, I had to think. I said he's right. Because when we won the Super Bowl, I mean, little by little, turmoil is starting to set in and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. It's very vital that, yeah, you're right. You got to win the Super Bowl, and to actually get back is really tough, But I think they, just like the Cowboys. I mean, they just got a lot of turmoil, and they got a lot of stuff to just figure it out. Just can't take one. Oh, we're good and all that stuff. You got to figure out a whole bunch of stuff out. You know, and
yeah,
you know, is that going to be a distraction getting on the field and all that stuff? Is Purdy the one? I mean, you got question marks and stuff. Yeah, it remains to be seen, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't look pretty in San Fran land. It doesn't look pretty in my eyes. So
yeah. It's definitely a lot of concerns. I think the team still has enough strong and enough talent core players around to hold things together. I think the high expectations, like all the ratings, like I mean, Madden had to rate it as like the top team next to the Chiefs. They're like even, you know. All the predictions say that San Francisco is the best team in the NFC. I honestly think Detroit's better than them, but
What?
you know, I think it could. I think it's one of those things that it's gonna. If it happens, it's gonna happen when they least expect it, kind of thing. You know, I think every year they go to Super Bowl, it's kind of like, oh, this team was the best at this and this and that. And then like the Chiefs last year, you know, they had no receivers yet they got there. You know, like how did they get there? And I think that's kind of where San Fran, if they ever do get over it, especially Kyle Shanahan, it's going to be one of those situations where you're like, they shouldn't be here, but they are here and they find a way to win. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of turmoil with the contracts. You know, they should have won last year. They needed to win last year. It just made this conversation a whole lot easier for all these contracts. You know, now everyone's thinking about their money and their legacy and all this and that, and you know, their families and stuff, and not thinking about, you know, like the Chiefs talking about, you know, going for a three-peat, and we'll talk about that. But you know, when you win it, you're like, oh, we're going back, we're going to win, we're feeling good. When you lose it, you're like, you know, let me think about my next contract and, you know, what am I going to eat tonight and all that kind of stuff. So. But you know, I'm excited for them. I'm still a fan. I'll never give up.
That old saying, "I want winners" from Michael Singletary when he was the coach for San Fran. I want winners.
Yeah. Well, speaking of winners, you got the LA Rams with McGenius, and so the big question is, you know, they had a really good draft last year. Do you think this year they're going to have a similar successful year, making it to the playoffs, or do you think they're going to actually have that setback that was kind of expected for them last year?
Well, originally the question was with steals in the draft, right? Wasn't that so they got 3 people in the draft. They got Jared Verse, who was a defensive end from Florida State. He was very good. They need somebody to replace Donald's production because he retired, right? So he's going to do that. They got Brandon Fisk from Florida State. He had 11.5 sacks, which was the most in the FBS this year. So another good player. And the 3rd round pick was Blake Cornum, who's a running back from Michigan. He set a season record with 27 touchdowns running, 28 total touchdowns. So they always draft well. We know what Puka is. You know, they have a solid team. I see them making some noise. They might actually I don't think they're going to overtake the Niners, but they're definitely going to keep them on their toes. And it's going to be close, I think, throughout the season, Jay.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just listed off a lot of good potential players that coming from the college, coming into the NFL, and how they're going to adjust and how they're going to adjust at a high level is going to be the key, I think. And yeah, man, you mentioned that that wide receiver, and then I just lost my mind, man. The other wide receiver, Cooper Kupp. Is Cooper Kupp getting old? You know what I mean?
He is old.
But I'm don't get wrong. That's what I mean. Like, he is that going to be too? I mean, because I think the Rams are going to be in the middle of this division. I think they might be number 3, honestly, because I'm thinking about Seattle. So,
all right, how was that? All right, Jerry.
Just like you said, Puka Nacua, and Matthew Stafford, you know what I mean? And I forgot what that running back. I mean, he came on towards the end of the season, so they got a running game. But they're on the rise. I hate to say it because I don't like McGenius, you know what I mean? Because I think, but he's proven me wrong. I mean, last year they made a pretty good run. I think it's going to be between them and San Fran, you know, as far as who's going to take that division and all that stuff. So, but they're definitely on the rise. And the 3 rookies that if one of those 3 could just make an impact, you know, I mean, you don't expect all your rookies to make, all the rookies that you drafted to make an impact. But if they can have one of those 3, you know what I mean, make a good impact, I mean, it could be something. It could be something. So, Prove me wrong, McGenius, because I can't stand
it. No, they had a good draft last year, and it paid dividends, especially on defense. But they lost Raheem Morris at the defensive coordinator, so I think that his impact's going to be felt. I know McGenius, last year he was considering retiring, and he ended up coming back. And I think having a successful season also kind of made him want to come back again this year.
Right.
This could be the year, though, that, even though they had a good draft, it still might not work out as well. And there are aging star players like Cooper Kupp and also Matthew Stafford. And if Stafford gets hurt, you know who the backup is. It's Jimmy G. So this team could run into a little bit of a trouble. And then it'd be very curious to see that if they do have a setback of a season, where does this team go with Sean McVay and his priorities? Does he want to stick around or not? But, if they hit on the draft what they did before, they definitely can be competitive and could, be like the number 2 or 3 team in the division.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the next team, let's move on. We got the the team that needs to study. This would be the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, with Kyler Murray. And my question is Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. going to be the best combination quarterback receiver duo?
You took my answer because I was going to say only if Kyler studies, but that was going to be, I mean, look, are they going to be like Larry Fitzgerald? I mean, look, Harrison's going to be good. He is what he is. The question is the team's going to team up on him, obviously. How's he going to handle that? How's Kyler going to handle that? Is he going to have a go-to guy besides him when he needs to? And that team still needs an identity as well. They don't have anybody really on that team. And Kyler is tiny, right? So, I mean, he's getting beat up too. So is he going to be able to last the whole season and stay healthy? Is he going to be like RG3 who just can't seem to get over that hump? It might very well be. I think this is the make or break season for him. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cardinals pan out. I do think Harrison's going to have a good season. I think he's going to open up the offense a little bit in terms that they're going to have to kind of, card him, make sure he's not, blowing the top off the secondary and all that stuff. But I just don't see Murray kind of having that better season than he did in the past.
And I feel that Murray is going to be doing a lot of running, bootlegging out and stuff. They got to have Harrison come across the middle, I think, for slants, or even, Kyle Murray's just going to have to create plays while he's in motion. I think it's going to be a lot more RPOs with that team, I think. And I still think they're going to be in the bottom, of this division. And it remains a kind of be seen thing when the season starts, if this is going to really work out well for Arizona.
Yeah, they're another 2. I feel they're another 2 or 3 years out. I don't think Murray is the guy, and I think Gannon's going to figure that out. You know what I mean? Sooner than later. I think this is definitely. I think in Gannon's eyes, in my opinion, he's going to see. Okay, well, Murray, this is going to be a make it or break it season with you, because you can't trust his height. And like what Dre was saying, just running all around the place and stuff. Their running game, I forgot his name. Shoot,
Connor.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, if he can stay healthy, if he can stay healthy, man, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean. He's a top, maybe a second tier running back, but he's got to stay healthy. You know what I mean, to get the pressure off of Kyler Murray. And then Marvin Harris is a rookie. He's going to have his hiccups and stuff. I mean, then a couple games he may have some great things here and there and stuff. But I think I think with Gannon, he's looking at this team as he's looking at an evaluation year this year. You know what I mean? And then, let this year go through and then come out strong, with some draft picks or whatever, or if he's got to revamp the quarterback, running back or whatever, and just build the team around Harrison, you know what I mean, on that offense. So, but yeah, I agree with Dre. They're still at the bottom of the pack, for now. So.
Yeah, they had a lot of talent issues last year. They really were one of the teams that was lacking talent in a lot of positions. So they're still trying to fill needs on that team, still build that team. Gannon still has to put his spin on it. I do think very possible that Marvin Harrison Jr. does come in and is I won't say a surprise because he's drafted so high, but he is as good as billed. Kind of like Justin Jefferson, just kind of was like people knew he was going to be great from the start.
Yeah.
So I think that would help Kyler out, but yeah, Kyler still. I mean, they paid him, so it's going to be kind of hard to still get rid of him. But he may be what holds that team back, and that they do need to get a better quarterback in the end.
Right.
All right, so Lennox, you got the last team, and that's the Sea Chickens. Can't stand them, that's why I call them that. But yeah, Seattle Seahawks. So, I guess the question with this team is, where do you think they're going to end up? They got a new head coach, Pete Carroll, who's been there forever, is gone. Do you see this team as being competitive with Geno Smith, or do you think they're getting close to having to turn things around for rebuild as well?
They're rebuilding. I mean, you got the same cast of characters: Geno Smith, DJ Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. The defense does not look stellar. I don't see this team really doing much more than they've been in the past. So, go ahead, Trey.
Next.
Well, I'm actually on the opposite because first of all, their schedule. They open up with Broncos. They got the Giants. They got the Patriots. I mean, and then it does get a little tougher after that. It's like Bills are in there, Dolphins are in there, but. You got to think I'm crazy, but the analogy I'm thinking about was when Chip Kelly took over the Philadelphia Eagles and he still was left over from Andy Reid stuff. So, I'm kind of seeing the same thing with Pete Carroll gone. They still have talent, like you just mentioned. Oh, yeah, Geno Smith. I don't know who that guy is, like ever since he left and now he's at Seattle, but I still think they're going to be a good contender in this division.
Yeah, I think it's a one-hit wonder. I mean, like you said, Sal, Metcalf, you know what I mean? Lockett, this stuff is getting old. It's getting old quick. Their running back, he can't stay healthy. But yeah, he can't stay healthy majority of the time. And then you got a new coach, you got a new system. It's just a one-hit wonder. I think everything's just going to implode after this season. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing that just strikes me. And then, you still got to deal with the Rams and you still got to deal with the 49ers. Third at best, with that 9-8, so yeah, that's
I think it could be a long season for the new head coach, Mike Macdonald, out there. I mean, I think he might be expecting that. Yeah. Geno Smith, was dinged up in the offseason. He was dinged up last year. They say he's a full go, but, that the tires is running thin on Geno Smith. I mean, he had a big, turnaround in his career, had a great year or two, but the ceiling's coming, the end of life is coming, and his backup is Sam Howell from Washington.
Oh my God.
So it's not like they got someone waiting in the wings. I think we know what Sam Howell's limitations are, especially getting sacked a lot and turning the ball over a lot. So yeah, I think they could have a rough season, but I think they kind of expect it. I think if they are able to win, a handful of games or somehow stick into the playoffs, it'll be one of those they overachieve kind of things. But I think expectation is that they're going to take a step back and they're rebuilding or retooling, as they say, a little bit.
Is Sam Howell better than Natal?
How old is Metcalf? How long he's been in the league?
Metcalf he's in his late 20s. He might be almost 30 years old. Or is 30.
Yeah, they said with 30-year-old wide receivers. I mean, that's now it's on the decline and whatnot.
Yeah.
7 years, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but people are able to cover him now.
Now they're figuring it out. Yeah,
now they're able to stay with him.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens, guys. Lots of interesting stuff going on in the NFC West for sure. Lots of turnaround and coaching wise and things like that. So let's see what happens here. And in the meantime, you can always check us out again. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel, Enough Said Crew. And then, as always, email us, enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. We're on 11 a.m. every Sunday morning before the games. So we look forward to seeing everybody and have a good one. Enjoy the week, guys.
All right, everybody. Enjoy.
Peace.